YouTubers, it's redlipblonde doing another Bible reading for this beautiful day in May. I just did one of Job, a couple chapters, so you can go on redlipblonde channel and view my videos. There's some outrageous ones, there's Bible videos, my life story videos, my picture videos. So I'm kind of all over the place, but today I'd like to read out of the Bible, because times are getting close, folks, and we really got to start digging into the Bible and seeking guidance from the Lord. So I'm hoping by reading passages it'll help you understand the Bible as well as myself. So I don't have any order to this. I just open the Bible, and whatever I'm open it to is what I try to understand, and that's it. So I just open the passage to chapter 12, Michael the Defender. Michael shall stand up for the people of God, with other things relating to Antichrist and the end of the world. Okay. But at the time shall Michael rise up, the great prince, who standeth for the children of thy people. And a time shall come such as never was from the time that nations began even until that time. And at the time shall thy people be saved, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of those that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some unto life everlasting, and others unto reproach, to see it always. But they that are learned shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that instruct many to justice as stars for all eternity. Be thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time appointed. Many shall pass over, and knowledge shall be manifold. And I, Daniel, looked, and behold, as it were two others stood, one on this side upon the bank of the river, and another on that side, and on the other bank of the river. And I said to the man that was clothed in linen, that stood up the waters of the river, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the man that was clothed in linen, and stood upon the waters of the river, when he had lifted up his right hand and his left hand to heaven, and had sworn by him that liveth forever, that it should be unto a time, and times, and half a time. And when the scattering of the band of the holy people shall be accomplished, all these things shall be finished. And I heard and understood not. And I said, O my Lord, what shall be after these things? And he said, Go, Daniel, because the words are shut up and sealed until the appointed time. Many shall be chosen and made white, and shall be tried as fire. And the wicked shall deal wickedly. And none of the wicked shall understand, but learned shall understand. And from the time when the continual sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination unto desolation shall be set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh unto 1,335 days. But go thou thy ways until the time appointed, and thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot unto the end of the days. Amazing. And if you really want to understand Daniel prophecy, because it's been broken down, because it's been sealed from us knowing, go to Third Eagle Books, William Tapley, Tapley on YouTube, and go to his website, and he breaks down Daniel, so that he unseals the prophet Daniel's Bible reading in the Bible, because in the Bible it's closed off to knowing what Daniel is saying, and he has the concernment, or he's been anointed by God to break down what Daniel is discussing for the end times. And it's a wonderful teacher and guidance concerning any Bible questions concerning especially the prophet Daniel. So go to Third Eagle Books. He has a website now. I believe it's thirdeaglemedia.com. But if you just go to his website, he'll tell you his new location of his website on YouTube to read the passages that he broke down from Daniel to understand. He uncovers the hidden truths of Daniel. And he's amazing. So look for the Third Eagle on YouTube. William Tapley. Chapter 13. Daniel. Now there was a man that dwelt in Babylon, and his name was Joachim. And he took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Helkias, a very beautiful woman, and one that reared God. For her parents, being just, had instructed their daughter according to the law of Moses. Now Joachim was very rich and had an orchard near his house, and the Jews resorted to him because he was the most honorable of them all. And there were 2 of the ancients of the people appointed judges that year, in whom the Lord said that sin, iniquity, came out from Babylon, which is the United States, and there's other, Europe is supposed to be part of Babylon too, from ancient judges that seemed to govern the people. These men frequented the houses of Joachim, and all that had any matters of judgment came to them. And when the people departed away at noon, Susanna went in and walked to her husband's orchard. And the old men saw her going in every day and walking, and that they were inflamed with lust towards her. They were perverted their own mind, and turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven, nor remember just judgments. So they were both wounded with the love of her, yet they did not make known their grief one to another, for they were ashamed to declare to one another their lust, being desirous to have to do with her. And they watched carefully every day to see her, and one said to the other, Let us now go home, for it's dinner time. So going out, they departed from one another. Turning back again, they came both to the same place, and asking one another the cause, they acknowledged their lust, and then they agreed upon a time when they might find her alone. And it fell out, as they watched a fit day, she went in on a time as yesterday and the day before with 2 maids only, and was distressed to wash herself in the orchard, for it was hot weather. So, woman's taking a bath, and you have 2 perverted guys checking her out, basically. And there was nobody there but the 2 old men that had hid themselves and were beholding her. So she said to the maids, Bring me oil and washing balls, and shut the doors of the orchard, that I may wash me. And they did as she bade them, and they shut the doors of the orchard, and went out by the back door to fetch what she had commanded them. And they knew not that the elders were hid in the woods or wherever within. Now when the maids were gone, the elders arose and ran to her and said, Behold, the doors of the orchard are shut, and nobody seeth us, and we are in love with thee. Wherefore consent to us, and lie with us. But if thou wilt not, we will bear witness against thee that a young man was with thee, and therefore thou didst send away the maids from thee. So they're going to lie and go after this woman. Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened of every side, for if I do this thing, it is death to me, and if I do it not, I shall not escape your hands. But It is better for me to fall into your hands without doing it than to sin in the sight of the Lord. See that? She's going to get raped by two old men that's perverted against her, and they said if she told that they would lie, and said she just was in there messing around and sent the maids away. Her response was, do what you will with me. I'm not going to go against God and my ways for you. So you're going to have to commit the sin against her so that she won't be blamed by God and sin against her will, which is awesome. And one of them ran to the door of the orchard and opened it. So when the servants of the house heard the cry in the orchard, they rushed into the back door to see what was the matter. But after the old men had spoken, the servants were greatly ashamed, for never had they been any such word said of Susanna. And on the next day, when the people were come to Joachim, her husband, and the two elders also came full of wicked device against Susanna to put her to death, and they said before the people, Send to Susanna, daughter of Hilkiah, the wife of Joachim. Presently they sent. And she came with her parents and children of all her kindred. And Susanna was exceedingly delicate and beautiful to behold. But those wicked men commanded that her face should be uncovered, for she was covered, that so at least they might be satisfied with her beauty. Therefore her friends and all her acquaintances wept. But the two elders, rising up in the midst of the people, laid their hands upon her head, and she, weeping, looked up to the heaven, for her heart had confidence in the Lord. And the elders said, As we walked into the orchard alone, this woman came in with two maids, and shut the doors of the orchard, and sent away the maids from her. Then a young man that was there had come to her and lay with her. Which they're lying. But we that were in the corner of the orchard, seeing the wickedness, ran up to them, and we saw them lie together. And him indeed we could not take, because he was stronger than us, and opening the doors he leaped out. But having taken this woman, we asked who the young men were, but she would not tell us. Of this thing we are witnesses. The multitude believed them as being the elders and the judges of the people, and they condemned her to death. Oh my gosh, the poor girl. Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, O eternal God, who knowest hidden things, who knowest all things before they come to pass, thou knowest that they have borne false witness against me, and behold, I must die. Whereas I have done none of these things which these men have maliciously forged against me. And the Lord heard her voice. And when she was led up to be put to death, the Lord raised up the Holy Spirit of the young boy, whose name was Daniel. And he cried out with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman. Then all the people, turning themselves towards him, said, What meaneth this word thou hast spoken? But he, standing in the midst of them, said, Are ye so foolish, ye children of Israel, that without examination of knowledge of the truth you have condemned a daughter of Israel? Return to judgment, for they have borne false witness against her. So all the people turned again to haste, and the old men said to them, Come and sit thou down among us, and show it us, seeing God hath given thee the honor of old age. And Daniel said to the people, Separate these two far from another, and I will examine them. So when they were put asunder one from another, he called one of them from the other. He called one of them and said to him, O thou art grown old in evil days, now are thy sins come out which thou hast committed before, in judging a just judgment, oppressing the innocent, and letting the guilty go free, whereas the Lord saith, The innocent and the just shall not kill. Now then, if thou sawest her, tell me under what tree, and what sawest them conversing together? He said, Under a mastic tree. And Daniel said, Well, hast thou lied again thine own head? For behold, the angel of God, having received the sentence of him, shall cut thee in two. And having put him aside, he commanded that the others should come. And he said to them, Oh, thou need of Canaan and not of Judah. Beauty hath deceived thee, and lust hath perverted thy heart. Thus did you do the daughters of Israel, and they for fear conversed with you. But a daughter of Judah should not abide your wickedness. So therefore tell me, under what did you take them considering together? And he answered, under a holm tree. And Daniel said to him, well, hast thou had lied again thy own head? For the angel of the Lord waiteth with a sword to cut thee in two, and to destroy you. With that all the assembly cried out with a loud voice. And they blessed God who saveth them that trust in him. They rose up against the two elders, for Daniel had convinced of false witnesses by their own mouth, and they did to them as they had maliciously dealt against their neighbor, to fulfill the law of Moses, and they put them to death, and innocent blood was saved in that day. But Hechias and his wife praised God for their daughter Susanna, with Joachim and her husband and all the kingdom, because they were so dishonestly found in her. And Daniel became great in the sight of the people from that day and thereforward. And King Astyages was gathered to his fathers, and Cyrus the Persian received his kingdom. Amazing. I've never read that passage. So it goes to show if you have faith in the Lord and you get somebody who falsely accuses you of something, have faith in the Lord. Don't give in to their desires, and you'll get saved out of that situation. Why should innocent people be persecuted with false statements? And, so that's it for today, and we'll see you soon. Peace, love, joy. Take care.